They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Ezekiel 7 and 19. I've read that scripture more times than I can count, and every single time I come away with the idea of a collapse of a currency system. Imagine having 10 bars of gold and your neighbor having 10 loaves of bread, and he's saying, no, I'm going to save my 10 loaves of bread for my family because I don't know where I'm going to get food tomorrow. Your gold is worthless to me. In Isaiah, it says, in that day men shall cast away their idols of silver and their idols of gold, which have been made for them to worship, to the moles and to the bats. This is Isaiah 2 and 20. I think it confirms that. Well, there's a story out now that I think is probably going to make a lot of gold people and silver people and all precious metals folks, kind of wake up and see the truth of the fallacy of using precious metals as some kind of a hedge against any future problems. In fact, it's going to cause more problems than anything else. There's a volcano erupting in Antarctica, and we heard this very strange story come out only a matter of a few weeks ago about Iranian forces now occupying that continent and claiming it as their own. Almost 3 years ago, talking about Admiral Byrd and different explorers down there and what might be found under the ice, it's gold. And it's gold in massive amounts. In fact, here's the story. This volcano in Antarctica is spewing 80 grams of gold dust every day. According to the NASA Earth Observatory, gold dust is just one of many things that are being spewed out of Erebus. An active volcanic peak in the Antarctic is spewing a fortune's worth of gold into the atmosphere every day, as per report in New York Post. Mount Erebus, one of Antarctica's 138 active volcanoes, is known for emitting pockets of gas containing approximately 80 grams of crystallized gold every day, $6,000 worth, out as far as 621 miles. Now, that might be something that's beyond the reach of a lot of folks, but you know what isn't? The Florida Maquis Patreon channel, where it's only $1 US, one single US dollar per month. $1 is so small compared to gold, you wouldn't even be able to measure it. 3 pennies if you sign up for an entire year. 3 pennies per day. What do you get? Hundreds of videos encompassing all sorts of topics talking about battlefield of the mind, psychological operations, how to be able to see through the liars on TV who would love for nothing more than, pay attention here, they would love nothing more than for you to send your worthless dollars to them so that they can give you their priceless gold. Think about that for just 1 minute. If a salesman would say, I have this priceless thing and you have a worthless thing, but because I'm just good-hearted, I'm going to give you my worthless thing for your priceless thing. Think about that for a minute. You see, that's PsyOps 101. Now, the funny thing about this story is that you don't hear a whole lot of folks saying, hey, maybe the U.S. should lift the treaty. Maybe the U.S. should, and other countries should begin in earnest trying to use Antarctica maybe to help some problems around the world. All that fresh water, all that coal, all that, copper and nickel and all the things down there that could be found. Why don't we work together in a responsible way, use it to help? Well, you see, it's the greed of folks, and that's going to be the collapse. Now, even on a funnier note, I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of your time tonight with the video. This postcard is actually a prop from a series that was out only for a few years, a sci-fi series, TV series, called Defiance. And it was very obscure. I mean, if you're a sci-fi junkie, you'll probably remember it quite well. We've used different references from Defiance in our videos here. But there's 3 things now that this very obscure, kind of somewhat a little bit corny series got right about the future. And it's really weird. Number one, the very first episode within the first, I think first 2 minutes they show this postcard, and it's a man and basically his young daughter. They're rolling down the road in a big old Jeep, and their goal is to get to the sunny beaches of Antarctica. Well, of course, they have adventures along the way and problems, and they run into other folks, but we now know that there are places in Antarctica beneath the ice sheet where you can walk around in a t-shirt. Science has proven that, and we've done videos on it. So that's one thing they got right. The other thing they got right, and this is, by the way, here's a shot from the series, New Earth, New Rules. You can't make this stuff up. Space junk strike in Florida signals new era of orbital debris. Now, a lot of folks might think this is a one-off. That was basically the entire plot of Defiance. They were on the surface. There had been a massive war in orbit, and every so often, debris would rain down. And in that debris was a lot of precious metals, like gold. And they would, look up at the sky, see where it is, and everybody would race over to where the crash site was going to be to try to be the first ones there to try to get a hold of anything that was salvageable or scrappable. And here we are, here in Florida, already here in the future, now getting houses that are having holes punched in it by space debris. April 12, 2024. So we have two things. We've got volcanoes spewing gold. We've got space junk hitting houses in Florida. And here's another screenshot, by the way. Here are these huge ships. They're drifting in orbit, and eventually their orbits decay, and they burn up and head back down to Earth. Okay, I saved this for the end so that nobody really got all that offended, but a lot of you are like, why do you keep showing the Jamie Murray character with the kind of deep V and the white hair and the purple eyes and all that? I'm like, well, there was another very strange aspect to end of the world survival shit. It's the fan. That I think Defiance with others got right. Pardon me. They had normalized prostitution. There was a place, the entire series for 3 years revolved around this place called the Need Want. It was a trading post and a bar and a pawn shop and a brothel, all wrapped up into one. And it was one of these kind of very weird things where it wasn't illegal. It wasn't even seen as immoral. It was just like any other job. Which, and again, and you have to remember, this predates OnlyFans by 10 years. At least 10 years. This is like 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012. This is a long time ago when they were making this. So that they got this right, and they got this right, and they got the thing with the gold right. I mean, it's just like, wait a minute, hold on. Too many things all lining up together. It's a very, very strange thing, but the idea, and this is, I guess you could count this as a fourth thing, currency didn't really exist. There was, if I had a need and you had a need, we figured out how to get together and get whatever we needed done. But as far as me buying this from you, I could, bring you something that might help you, further your load a little bit farther down the road, and vice versa. It's kind of everybody pulling together. In that day, men shall cast away their idols of silver and their idols of gold, which have been made for them to worship, to the moles and to the bats. It's the end of a currency system. It's where people are just, they can't even buy food. Neither fill their bowels, because it's the stumbling block of their iniquity. So I think the Bible is actually kind of lining up with sometimes a lot of these TV series. The inspirations might be coming from places that the writers don't even know. So I will leave it there, but $6,000 a day in gold is being blasted all over the surface of Antarctica. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, God bless all of you that have joined us. Patreon, very much appreciate it. Making a huge difference. I'm kind of fighting a bit of a sorry about that. Bit of a cold. Don't know where it came from, but not the end of the world. I'm sure I'll pull right through and be fine in just a few days. So would love to have you over there. $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. As always, fully refundable first 90 days. No questions asked. $5 level and above. All of you who have signed up at the above, God bless you. You're making a huge, huge difference in my life. It's just absolutely making the difference. I do not have words. I am humbled. So would love to have you over there. It's not just a handout thing. There are, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of videos that I have put together going back all the way to 2017 and 18. None of those videos have ever been seen on YouTube. They have always been over there, and they are psychological operations oriented. They are gloves off. There is some imagery that's for adults only, so send the kids out to play while you're watching those. So I will leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.